So I want to talk about how to make passive income because passive income really is the only way to ultimately succeed in life and to get out of and to have financial freedom rather and not to always be worried and stressed about getting a paycheck, making money, paying bills and stuff like that. Um, it's something that a lot of us are gonna go through if you watching this video. If you wasn't born with a silver spoon in your mouth, if you not LeBron James kids or Will Smith kids or Dwayne Wade or somebody Denzel Washington kids, unfortunately, most of us was born into poverty, or maybe you was born into a middle class family. Maybe you did have your mom and your dad, and they both had decent jobs to where you wasn't in poverty, but you wasn't rich either. So you still had to get out and get a job and make it work for yourself. This video is for you. So if you was like that, unfortunately, at some point you are going to have to start off trading your time for money. That's the thing, is that we all have to work, we all have to get a job. Nobody likes it, but that's just the reality. If you wasn't born into a family, or you wasn't born into like where you can work to maybe a family business, but then even then you still train your time for money. Maybe because unless they just gonna put you into a ownership or a salary position, you still an employee. You might be getting paid better or have better perks, being a family member of the company, but still, if you still working an hourly wage, you still exchanging time for money. So it's something that we all have to do. So get into passive income because it's not easy. It's easy, but then it's not easy. Just like losing weight. Losing weight is simple and easy. Just being a calorie deficit, just move more and eat less. But obviously, it's not that easy because millions of people want to lose weight, but they can't. And it's the same for passive income. It's as simple as it's easy to say, oh, invest in real estate, invest in stocks and bonds, and invest in index funds. Get assets and not liabilities. It's easy to say that, but how do you even get this stuff when you in poverty or you broke and you don't even have the money to get that? And then, especially because this is what most people get messed up, is that most people either living within living at their maximum, even if they living like we know a lot of people living above their means, and that's a great problem. We know that, but a lot of people is maxed at like because like they say, people basically live where they're at. So you might not be lit over spending, or like let's say you make your budget, let's say you make 4,000 a month, but your bills is 4,500 a month. That's living above your means. But there's people like, let's say that you make 4,000 a month, but your bills is 3,800 or 3,900. So basically, you never have no money left at the end of the month. All you able to really do is pay your bills, and if you lucky, you can go out to eat. That's where a lot of people fall in. So it's like, how can I invest in anything or get to a point of getting passive income if every month I'm stuck inside this cycle? So I'm gonna get into that because it's no easy way. Nothing is guaranteed, but there's a couple things that I'm gonna point out that's self-inflicted, and then also some stuff that you just can't control. Unfortunately, that's the way that life is. So, starting with of course, the self-inflicted. So, and you're going to have to, it's sad to say, but it's one of the only ways out of it. There's more, which I'm about to say, but we know the old tried and true, and what old people will tell you is that you just gonna have to work more and you gonna have to grind hard so you can rest later, basically. So what that means, let's say at your job you making that 4,000 working 40 hours a week or whatever like that. You might have to get a second income. Like what really changed the game is Ubering, DoorDashing, um, Uber Eats, like picking people up, like that really changed the game because it's something that you can do at any time and make money the same day. And that's what a lot of people is doing for their second income. and to make extra money. When you bored and instead of playing a video game or watching a movie, get out and DoorDash and Uber for a couple hours and make a couple money. Or go the old way of just getting a part-time job that balancing between your main job. Or get a trade or a skill to where you can be a carpenter and lay carpet or a painter and paint people houses in your spare time as a side income, or a plumber. Like, do that, put your name out there, and market yourself, give out your business cards, put out ads on Facebook, and I don't know if people still do it in the newspaper no anymore, but do that. Them a couple things that you can do to get a second income. Now, or if you have a job to where you can get overtime, like if you working at a factory or somewhere where they do let you work overtime, but you just don't be feeling like doing it, that might be what you have to do for a little while. And then have that job to pay your bills, but then with this extra money from whatever you doing, one of the things I just named, or there's other stuff that I'm probably not even thinking of, selling little stuff. I know some people make extra money selling stuff on eBay, buying stuff and reselling it, flipping stuff. It's a couple different ways to make extra money in your free time. Now, if you working, well, I'm gonna get to that. So that's extra ways to make some money, then take that money and use that money to save and invest. Because I do believe, unfortunately, you do need a savings account and stuff do happen, unfortunately, because there is a lot of people, like I've been in a situation where I finally thought I was gonna have some free money and it ended up backfiring on me because my car broke down. My car broke down. So that money that I had saved, I had to go there. So, that's why you also need a savings account too. And then it's like it is like, trust me, it is a lot because you need money to pay your bills, you need money to save for a rainy day, then you need money to invest. So that ends up being a nice amount, but that's getting into, of course, when they say about living within your means. Because okay, let's say you got like I said, you making 4,000 a month, your bills is 38, 3,900. You might have to downsize some stuff, and this is stuff that they say, but it is true, and this is tried and true ways to make it. But I'm gonna give you some more modern ways to do this, also. But downsize stuff, like instead of like try to make your bills 2,800 or even 3,200 a month, because what is you got to look at your bills to see what can you sacrifice, what is you doing. And like they always say, is that people try to get a house and a car that meets their budget. Like, just because you can technically afford it don't mean that you can afford it. Because let's say that 4,000, let's say you got your rent is 2,000, and then your car note with insurance and stuff is like 800. So your rent of your car note alone is 2,800 of that. Now, let's say that you live somewhere, you had a crib that was, instead of that 2,000, you could have got a crib that maybe was 15, 1,600. And you could have saved some money. Or the car note, let's say your car note was 480. Instead of, because you wanted a brand new car, you could have got a cheaper car with a cheaper car note. Or I always say buy your car if you can. I know the reasons why people don't buy cars, because it's hard to afford it. And everybody say, I don't want to buy no cheap car, no $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 car, because all it's gonna do is break down. I'd rather get a new car. But when you look at it, which I discovered, is that for one, just because you got a cheap or older car don't mean that it's automatically gonna break down versus a new car. Like, there's people who got cars with less than 100,000 miles on them and they car break down all of the time. I've seen that a bunch of times. Just because you got a new car don't mean that it's not gonna break down. Just because you got an older car don't mean it break down. Remember I had a Kia. It was like a 2011, 2012 Kia. And that car never had to get fixed. I never not once took it to the shop in 3, 4 years that I had it. And it had like 140,000 miles. Same, I had a Malibu after that. It was like a 2013 Malibu or something. Had it for a year and a half before I just sold it for the car that I got now, which is a newer car, and it's been not in had to put it in the shop 3 times this year. So them two cars, I had the 2012 and 2013 Kia and Malibu, never had to take it to the shop. This new car that I got, I don't have a car note on it though, but it's newer, and I didn't have to take it to the shop. So people need to stop acting like just 'cause you get an older car, you gonna have to take it to the shop. It might just need minor things like brakes, rotors, like minor stuff done to it. So you got to think about that. But most of the time, it's not even about that, just about the look of the car. Everybody just wants a new car. Everybody just wants to keep up with the Jones and look like they balling. And that's what it comes down to because buying a car, um, obviously you saving money every month because you're looking at repairs, but the money that you end up paying in your car note every month could have been a repair money anyway. And it's not like you're gonna have to get a car repaired every single month. So regardless of how it goes, you're gonna save money in the end. And then there's something called the warranty. Spoiler alert. I don't know, because like I did on my car, luckily, I pay 130 a month for a warranty, and everything that goes down happens to my car, it gets fixed. And all I have to do is pay $100 deductible. So basically for 232, I can get my car basically fixed and taken care of. When you people paying 300, 400, 500 a month for a car note, every month. Like, like it's not adding up. You still paying more on the car note. So that's what gets a lot of people messed up too, is that you should buy your car if you can. Now, I didn't been in a situation where I couldn't afford to buy a decent car. All I had was 1,000 or 1,500, and I needed a decent car now, right then and there. I understand that, but like I said, life is all about sacrifices. Stand down till you come up. Because maybe you should have just caught the bus or did a ride for a little bit longer to stack up the money to get a car. And like I said, if you do your research and everything, you can get a decent car. If like it's not like you just gonna automatically buy a lemon. You can get a decent car for 2,000, 2,500. Then if you do want to get a car, no, it could be a starter car because you can always trade in your car for a car note later if you just got money and got it budget out like that. So it's still an investment. People need to get out of getting caught up in the being flashy. Because when I started to realize this would change my mind, when I started seeing old people driving, older cars, and there's people older than me and younger, like this is going to what I always say is that there's always going to be somebody doing better than you and worse than you. It's always going to be somebody that's going to have a better car than you and a worse car than you. There's always gonna be like that. So you people need to stop getting caught up on having the best car. Cause even like, ain't none of y'all getting no Lamborghini or nothing. Maybe you got a Durango or maybe a Charger or a Camaro or a Challenger, like a good car, but it's still not no Lamborghini, it's still not a Ferrari, it's still not a Cybertruck, it's still not a Corvette. Like, and then if you got a Corvette or whatever, it's still not a Bugatti, it's still not, like it's always something better and something worse. That's what you got to realize when it comes to this stuff. And that's what get a lot of people caught up. And then a lot of people do be trying to impress. Like when I thought about it, don't nobody really care. Long as your car ain't banged up and raggedy. Now, if it banged up raggedy making noises, then yeah, that's when it becomes a problem. But if you got a decent looking and straight car, don't nobody care. For real, don't nobody really care as long as you got a car, especially for females. Like people get caught up in that. Like if a girl only gonna talk to you because you driving a Lamborghini or a Charger, that's not the female that you want anyway, obviously. The female should only care that you got a car. Now I understand her saying that she wants you to have a car, but and then not be raggedy. But if you got a decent car, like let's say you got like a 2016 Impala, or like I got like a 200C, 2016, or you got like a trying to think, even like the Kia that I had, I love that car. And the car still was nice looking. I had my windows tinted and everything. Like, if you got a decent car like that, it shouldn't matter. Like the difference, just because it's not no Hellcat or something. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then like I said, you shouldn't want no female who only talk to somebody because you got to have that certain car. Like I said, it's understandable to have a car, a decent car, but you shouldn't have to have a Lamborghini or a Ferrari or a Charger or a Challenger to pull a bitch. Like that's just dumb to me. So yeah, that's what you got to think about, and what's getting a lot of people caught up. And then a lot of people is paying for stuff that they don't use, buy shoes. That's what I had to learn, like buy clothes and shoes that you don't even wear. Like you stuff like that is what really get people caught up and messed up to where they can't save and invest, unnecessary spending and spending above their means. we all know that you got to sacrifice. So like I said, you have to work more, try to get a second income, find a way to make, a part-time job or Uber, DoorDash, sales, something, do whatever you have to do. And then cut back on some expenses. Look at how much you spending on fast food. Somewhere, I guarantee we all are. We all spending unnecessary money somewhere that we could be saving to invest in and stacking up. But I do believe in the saying is that you can't save your way to be rich. I don't know who said that, but I do believe that you can't save your way into being a millionaire. Like you have to make investments, you have to make passive income, or you have to just become a high earner. Like, trying to save $200 a week. I mean, come on now. You're not gonna get rich that way. So that's a way to look at it. Like I said, trying to get your money. Then when you get a lump sum of money, because I do believe everybody done got that lump sum of money, whether it's your taxes, because if you broke, you get your income taxes. School money, if you in school, your student loans and Pell Grants and all of that, because we know people don't use all of that money for school because they give you thousands and they don't cost no thousands for your books and stuff. People be using that money to get a car, buy clothes and stuff like that. So income taxes, school money, or maybe you hit the lottery, won on FanDuel, or did something randomly happen, or you got a bonus check, or I do believe that there's instances to where everybody gets a lump sum of money. So it's just about, like they always say, what you do with it. Now, getting into um the stuff that you can't control. Like I always say, which is true, is that it's life. Everybody not gonna be rich. Everybody not gonna be successful. Everybody can be a business owner. It's not set up for everybody to make it. And I always say this with everything that I say is that, it's just the way of life. Everybody not gonna make it. Everybody not gonna live out their dreams. It's unfortunate, but it's just the reality. But all you can do is try. If you know that you tried your hardest and you tried to do the right thing and make the right decisions and it just didn't happen, you can live with that. Like, let's say you want to be an artist, a rapper, a singer. If you know that you put in the work, you was in the studio every day, you put your heart and soul into it, and you just never blew up, at least you can live with that. It's unfortunate, but at least you can say you put it into your all. It just didn't work out for you, and it's not going to work out for a lot of people, because that's what you just got to understand. It's a numbers game. It just, it's a little bit of luck with everything. Everybody that's then, made it in life, they had a little bit of luck somewhere. And then some people just had unfortunate situations. So you got to just realize that that's life. Nothing is guaranteed. So you got to keep that in mind. But you should be striving to make it and to do it. Because like I said, sorry to any old viewers that might watch, but like the goal, like you shouldn't be old and still having to work. Like they do say, it do be messed up when you see people in their 50s, 60s, 70s still working at Walmart or fast food, or something like that. And then some old people work because they want to stay active. Okay, but like we talking about the people who has to work and still struggling to pay their bills at 50, 60, 70 years old. That's not what you want, because then you got to look at what you did all of them times. And also, let me say this: you got to limit mistakes. Like we know, having a bunch of kids as a dude, you like self-inflicted wounds. Getting back to that, like you on child support for 2, 3, 4 kids. That's messing you up right there. But that's your own fault for keep on having kids and being irresponsible. Same thing for women, because women watching the same way. Like if you got kids cost money and they take up your time also, because instead of, like I said, you might not be somebody who could pick up the DoorDash or Uber or a second job or something like that because you got a kid and you don't have no babysitter, so you got to leave your first job to pay the bills and then go straight to watching and babysitting your kid. So like I said, certain self-inflicted wounds is that you have to you got to try to avoid and be better. And that's why I always try to speak to the younger people more so than anything, to learn from people's mistakes. Because once you done made the mistakes, it's already too late. But even if you do have kids, realize there's a lot of people who had kids that ended up making it and being something. Like, J.K. Rowling, the person who made Harry Potter, she was a single mother when she wrote the Harry Potter books. And we know there's a bunch of men that became successful that had kids before they were successful. You can still do it, but like I said, it's just going to make it harder. in the end. Next, like, because they always say you should invest in yourself versus investing in something else. Now, it all depends because investing in something, regardless, like let's say that you want to invest in real estate, that still is investing in yourself because you're gonna be the one doing it. It's still investing in you, believing that you can sell houses. So or same for stocks, it's still investing in you, knowing that you know what to invest in. So it's still investing in yourself. And then when it comes to investing in yourself, that's more so if you trying, like if you want to be an artist or you trying to sell a product or get a movie script out or like I said, sell a product or something like that or own a store like um you have to have a real plan when it comes to that and do your research because like we know a lot of people didn't invested a lot of money in their field. That's what they don't tell you. That's getting back to life not fair. A lot of people invested and try to have passive income and it didn't work out for them. A lot of people invested in real estate and it turned out bad, or they invested in stocks, it didn't work out. Like it's a lot of people who did get to the point to where they did have the money to invest, but they made the wrong investments and it didn't work out. That's what you have to keep in mind also. That's why I said life isn't life isn't fair. But what you can do and what can always give you a frame of mind is that if you at least get to a point of financial freedom to where you making enough to where your bills is paid, you got a little bit over and you don't have to worry about nothing. That's what you really trying to get at because it's one thing, like I said, when you talk about being a millionaire and all of that, making 100,000, it's levels to because you don't have to make that much money to live comfortably and to be happy. That's the thing. Not everybody needs all of that. You just need the money to where, okay, like a lot of people to where, okay, I can buy what I want, go where I want to go, and my bills is paid. A lot of people is okay with that. And then another big thing is that you can work yourself and have a bunch of money but you always at work and you always stressed. That's why a lot of lawyers, a lot of people with high paying jobs, they make a lot of money and they got it, but they hate their job. And I always say this is that I will take a job that makes a little bit less money, but I'm more happier doing the job or going to the job than anything. That's what I would always choose that. Like, if I had the choice between 75,000 a year and I'm doing a job that I love and I'm okay going to versus a job that pay 120,000 a year, but I'm always at work or I hate the job, I'll take the 75,000. So, I love money and I'm all about preaching money, but I'm also about being happy because I didn't have jobs. I'm pretty sure we all have to where you miserable every day you gotta go. Like that just don't make no sense to me. Like I'd rather just live within my means and have a little bit more, I might not have the 2024 new car truck. I may have the 2021 version, but I'll take that versus going to a job that I hate and I'm stressed all the time. Or I'm always at work, I don't even get to enjoy myself. So and that was part of the reason why I was telling people before I got my business and really got into where I'm at now, why I said that when I was DoorDashing and Uber, and that was my favorite job. And if I had to, I would go back to that or only do that versus working in a factory or another job where I could be making technically more money. But with the DoorDash and Uber, I like the freedom of it and I wasn't stressing, I wasn't doing no hard labor or nothing that I hated doing. Just driving around, dropping food off or whatever like that. I'm like, I can do that for a bunch of hours because I would do it 6, 8 hours and it would just fly by because I'm not doing something that I hate to do. So that's something that you always have to keep in mind too. And don't feel bad because that's to me the ultimate freedom. Like, yeah, somebody might make more money than you, but they also might be more stressed than you. So it's not all about just making the most money and just money is everything. Money is very important and you need to get to it. But there is instances to where I do understand and saying that money isn't everything and it's not worth you being stressed and you hating what you do just in the pursuit of money. Just like I would say for women to a certain degree, like make money shouldn't like you shouldn't sleep with somebody that you disgusted to sleep with, like Jada said it all just for some money. Like it has to be a line that's there. Um, but yeah, so That's also to think about. But then also about the passive income, I wanted to also say this too, is that the beautiful thing about the age that we're in that's different from the old age where a lot of old people like, dang, y'all got it lucky and we do have it better now than ever. Thanks to technology, is that you can make passive income doing anything, YouTube, Facebook, like that gave people an avenue to make passive income because you can make passive income doing whatever you want to do. That's why I said if you like playing video games, you better start streaming on Twitch and putting your YouTube videos up. If you like cooking, you better be putting your cook like you can monetize anything that you like to do now. And that's what really changed the game for real. You like talking about sports. It's sports podcasts that then blew up. So it's always something out there, pranks, all type of stuff to make passive income doing stuff that you love to do. And I do believe, like I said before, that it's oversaturated. And that's the problem with that. It's hard to blow up and to get, to make good money off of because the competition's so stiff and there's so many people trying to do it. But I still people tell people to do it because what do you have to lose? If you're gonna do it anyway, like if I'm playing the games anyway, I might as well record it and upload it. If don't nobody watch it, hey, what am I losing? And it's that chance that somebody it might catch on and somebody might watch it or I might go viral. So that's what you gotta think of too, because that changed the game when it comes to passive income, being able to that's why everybody is making TikToks, making YouTube pages, making Facebook pages, and all of that type of stuff because there's so many different ways to monetize yourself. Um, and then lastly, another thing is knowledge, and that's what I'm doing now and giving you. And I say the biggest key is gaining knowledge, and that's the thing about technology now is that you can YouTube, Google everything, how to make passive income. How to become this side jobs, what to invest. Like it's so much knowledge out there. There's so much stuff for you to research. I mean, and then you can study other people and like I got a series coming up soon, like how I'm gonna talk about how I went from being homeless to, having my own house and having almost everything that I want. How I did that. And it's a lot of people out there who is, came from rags to riches or came for nothing, and you can there are videos out there or books or whatever, them telling you how to become successful and how they did it. And maybe you could pick up something that can teach you and help you in the end. Knowledge is power. I always say that. The more you know, the better off you is. But yeah, the key is to make money when you sleep. Like I feel like that's really when you is successful, when you don't have to do nothing, you still getting money coming in. And there's a lot of, like I said, different ways I done told you to make residual income. It's so much stuff that there's risk with anything because anything could fail. Like I said, you can, because I started flipping cars like during the tax season when I knew that people wanted cars and people had money. I would sell cars and I would make a profit off of them because cars would be such in demand that I could sell it for more than it's worth. Even something like that, there's a lot of instances, stuff that you can do to make passive income and to build stuff. Like I said, there's people who buy, for the longest, I don't know if they still do it or if it died down, but like, buy Jordans and flip them and sell them for more, buy them in the bulk, or like I said, there's a lot of stuff that you can make. Females make, side money all the time doing hair, lashes, selling hair, doing all of that type of stuff. And then if you're a female, you already know if you decent looking or if you got the look. I mean, it's so easy for women to make money, even if you don't have the look. Like, it's easy for y'all to post a couple sexy pictures or make a little OnlyFans, and you don't even have to be naked. And people will give you money. All you have to do as a woman is to figure out how to promote yourself and to get yourself out there. Because like I said about the YouTube competition is stiff. It's a bunch of pretty women trying to monetize and get 100,000 followers on Instagram. You got to figure out how to get yourself out there, whether that's promotion or paying people to promote your stuff. And the same for music. If you're a guy promoting your project, like it takes money to make money. That's what I learned. That's why I was getting to the first point that you have to create a savings or start making money so you can save to invest in yourself. Because it take money to make money into marketing, getting your product out there, or to promote your whatever you trying to do. It takes money to promote that, and you might have to get help from people. Pay somebody to who famous already, who got a bunch of followers to promote your project to get yourself out there. Um, Yeah, and then of course, not having no debt is important. Trying to get a credit score because there is ways to leverage credit. That's another way to get, if you like, I don't have money. A lot of people is able to leverage credit, and there is a way to do it, obviously. From like I know people like leverage their car, like they had good credit, so they was, and then they had the money, so they took their money, they got two, two cars or something, then they rented out one car to pay for the other car, so it's like they driving basically the car basically for free, and it's boosting their credit, because it'll be my bad, because per month you gonna rent out the car for more than what you gonna pay in the car note a month. Let's say your car note is 400, but if somebody rent out your car for a week, it's gonna be like 400, especially through a month. So let's just say you make 1,000 a month renting out your car, and that's probably even low. And then your car note is 400. Well, for both cars, let's just say it's 800 or whatever, like that. You making the money off renting out that one car to pay both car notes, and you might even have like a few hundred left. That's a way to that people leverage credit, to make money and stuff like that. And then, like I said, your car is being paid off, so it's building your credit. If you have a business, that's why having a business changes everything, because then you can get business credit, business loans, and stuff like that. Credit cards, instead of using your credit cards to pay for dumb stuff, use your credit card to actually invest in yourself or whatever you're trying to do to build. It's so many ways I didn't just gave y'all to make passive income and how to try to make it in life, for sure. But I do believe at worst, if you don't know about investing, try to get to a point to where you can save. You can save money. Because if you do say, it might take a long time, but you can get to a point to where you can save up a decent amount of money. Like I said, if you're putting away 200 a week, I mean, I can't do the math off the top of my head, but that's what, $800 a month. So just think about, over time that definitely will end up building into something different, because you do need money for a rainy day, for stuff. You never know when it's something that's gonna happen. But more than likely you're gonna have to go through a period of grinding, and then you gotta decide between your wants and your needs. Because I believe all of us buy stuff unnecessarily, and there's not nothing wrong with that. You should be able to treat yourself every now and then, get something to eat, buy a pair of shoes. You should, and that's why I always do feel both sides of the story. Because you shouldn't just have to pay bills and go to work just to pay bills. You should be able to have fun and enjoy your life also. And we can argue about if wages should be more. We can definitely argue that for sure. Jobs should be paying more. That's another subject for another day. But you got to get to making passive income. One way or another. I'm probably gonna do a part two about this, because this was just, some thoughts off of the top of my head. I ain't want to make this video too short. Given, hopefully you learned or picked up something in this video that might help you. But part two, I'm probably gonna make a little bit more structure, or just touch on the points that I haven't thought of right now, because stuff always come to you later on. So, but yeah, that's it. Get to financial freedom. Everybody need to get to a point of financial freedom, because the number one stress, I'm pretty sure, for most people is money. Stressing about paying bills, can't buy this, can't do this. That's one of the people's biggest struggles. And then, like I said, also is that you can't say that money not important. When people going to work every single day, 8 hours, it's only 24 hours off the day, and then you got to spend at least 4 to 8 of it sleeping. So you spending most of your day at work. Most of your life is at work. I don't know what the percentage, but like half of your life is literally sleeping and working. Literally, that's like half of your life. So, knowing that, you got to make sure that you taken care of. And then, like I said, you get to a point to where you able to go on vacation when you want to when you could stop working eventually. Because that used to be of course, the old way of doing it. You work 20, 30, 40 years and retire, and at 50 something, you can kind of chill out. But you should want to do it sooner than then. That's why, if you listen to me, and if young people can learn from older people mistakes, and you get on your ground in your 20s, you could be done by like your late 30s, 40s. If you try, stuff happens, of course it might get pushed later on, because as time goes on, you gain more knowledge and you make more money because you gain experience. But all things being equal, you can, But you're gonna have to sacrifice. That's my point. Sooner or later, it's no way around it. We all have to do. You might rather 6 months to maybe a few years, but you're gonna have to stay down. Might not go out as much. Stop chasing women. Stop. Trying to ball out, not go on vacation this year. Do something to make sure, and that's what you should be thinking about. How I can make passive income. How can I make enough money to where I don't have to worry about money? That should be your goal. And I'm out.